That's I work for Morris Costumes, and I've been into monsters ever since I was a kid. So the profession kind of helps me stay around, the things that I really love. I was born in Asheville, North Carolina, and like I say, ever since I was a kid, I had a fascination with monsters. And I've told people the story before that I can remember as a kid seeing Boris Karloff as Frankenstein. And I can remember thinking how people could even interact with him because he was just so terrifying. When you were on the stage with him, it seems like you'd just be frightened out of your mind. So, I've been into it ever since I can remember. And I had opened up a costume shop in Asheville, and I got to know Philip Morris, the owner of Morris Costumes, and so the costume shop was run in conjunction with the blue jean business, but consequently the blue jean business wasn't doing very well, and so that went out. So that meant that my costume shop kind of stayed on its own, and that didn't work out too well. So anyway, I called up Phil and said, listen, do you have a place for me? And luckily he did at the time, and I've been with him about 30 years, and it's just the love of monsters that kind of keeps me going. As films go and as the movie industry goes, I mean, certainly I've grown through from prosthetics to CG work. I mean, I've seen it really change a lot. And a lot of the guys that I've gotten to know over the years that were probably some of the best sculptors in Hollywood, that's really a lost art because now everything's done on computer.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's a little sad because, I mean, that's old school to me, and that's the part that I really liked a lot. Having worked here and we have, Morris has gotten to know a lot of the guys that are in Hollywood, and that's kind of opened up some doors to be able to get to know some of those guys. Now, I don't know Rick Baker that well, but I did have the opportunity back in the mid-90s to go by his place when we were out doing a trade show. And he was gracious enough to show us around and show us all of his creations, and it was absolutely incredible. And the name's probably not as well known, but I've gotten to know Steve Wang, who is the guy who created the Predator that's behind this, and he to me is just one of the best sculptors out there. He's just phenomenal. Just those guys inspire the heck out of me. You can go onto their website or on their MySpace, and it just, you look at it and you just want to do some of that. And that's kind of the reason that I got into the painting side of it. I can remember when I was a kid, and I had every Aurora monster model there was, and man, I would spend Saturdays painting those things and just loving it. And, you grow up and the toys get more expensive, but I never lost the desire to paint. Those guys just, you saw how well it could be done. And you want to mimic them. You try to, it's nice to develop your own style, but those guys are at the pinnacle. I mean, they're as good as you can get. So they just, they inspire you along, and it always kind of sets the goal very high to try to do it as well as they do. I kind of have my own style. I'm really into Giger, H.R. Giger, in a big way. And Alien came out 30 years ago. So, I mean, I was just kind of getting into it at that point. And I'd just come to work for Morris at that time. And I had never seen anything like Giger's work. I mean, I heard the name when I saw the trailer, and it was like, well, who is that? And so, I kind of searched him out, and his imagery was just mind-blowing. The translucency and all, and I never had seen anything like it. I just knew that I wanted to do some of that. I had no idea how I was going to do it. I had airbrushed a little on the side and kind of just picked it up. I mean, he was always the guy that, as I was first getting into it, that really inspired me. So a lot of his look, you'll even find in pieces that aren't alien related, just the fleshy characters that I have around here. They still kind of have that translucent look because at that early age, that's kind of what I mimicked. Painting Aurora monster models, I had every one of them. And I can just remember painting way back then. I took some art classes in high school, took some art classes in college, but I was always into the more weird side of it. I never was the one to paint still lifes. Not that I couldn't, it just never interested me. mountainscapes and that kind of thing. They just really never hit me. So I just stayed at it. You know, kids will come in here, people will come in, and they say, well, what kind of advice do you have for me? Well, stay at it. Paint or draw or sing or play the guitar, whatever you do it every day. Do it every day. And you can't help but, I mean, over a period of time, whether that be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever, if you stay at it and you have a desire, you'll get good at it. There's just no way around it. And always look for somebody that's a lot better than you. Always look for that guy and strive to be that good. As long as you do that, I mean, you'll get there. Like I say, I'm 54, and when I'm in my garage painting, there's nothing else like it. I mean, everything else goes away, all the problems, all the men. When you're doing something and it's really something you want to do and it's turning out, nothing else like it. Nothing else like it. I can remember the first time it was Sigourney Weaver. No, it was Newsweek. There's a copy of it. The copy of that Newsweek. You can't hardly see it, but it's down there. Well, I can remember the first time. I never even heard of Alien. But I picked it up and I flipped through it, and the space jockey from Alien, there was a picture of that. And it was like, wow, I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, that just looks great. And you flip the page, and then there was the picture of the alien. And it was like, that was so completely out of the realm of thinking that you got this big old elongated head and these the biomechanical Giger, look, it was like, I can't wait. And then on top of everything else, to finally get to the movie, and the movie was as good as I thought it was going to be. How often does that happen? Because, I mean, nowadays, really, there's not a lot of good out there. It's just crap. You go see it because it's in the genre, but you kind of come out like, boy, I wouldn't go see that one again. Alien wasn't like that. Alien, like, you sit there, and it had everything. It was done well, it was shot well, the scenes made sense, the alien was incredible. I just was blown away.